Hi everyone, if you're struggling not getting success, then this video is for you. Nowadays there's one truth in life that nobody can change. Your success is in your hands. It is not in the hands of luck. The only person who has the power to decide your future is you. But the question is, do you believe in yourself? Today, we'll talk about it. My name is Muniba Mazari, and I'm a motivational speaker. If you find this video fruitful, then you can appreciate me by like and subscribe. Start a new journey with me. Let's start the topic. My dear friends, I want to ask you a question today. Have you ever felt alone in your journey? Have you ever looked around and realized that no one truly understands your vision, your passion, or your struggles? If you have, then let me tell you this. You are not alone in feeling alone. But being alone does not mean you are lost. Being alone does not mean you are weak. Being alone means you have been given a gift. The gift of discovering your own strength. Believing in yourself is the foundation of achieving any goal, especially when you are walking the path alone. It is easy to doubt yourself when no one is there to validate your dreams. But true success begins when you decide that your belief in yourself is enough. The world will not always recognize your potential right away, and people may question your vision. That is why self-belief must come from within, independent of external validation. There will be moments when you feel unsure, when the weight of your own doubts becomes heavier than the obstacles outside of you. In those moments, you must remind yourself why you started in the first place. Your dreams were placed in your heart for a reason. They are not random, they are not meaningless, they are part of you, and only you have the power to bring them to life. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for someone else to confirm that they are capable. They wait for approval from friends, family, or society before taking the first step. But if you constantly seek validation, you will always be at the mercy of other people's opinions. Some may encourage you while others may discourage you. If you allow their words to dictate your actions, you will never move forward with full confidence. That is why you must decide today that your own belief is the only validation you need. Self-belief is not something that comes naturally to everyone. For many, it is something that must be built over time. It starts when you set a goal and follow through even in the smallest ways. You reinforce the idea that you can trust yourself when you wake up early to work on your dreams, when you push through discomfort, when you keep going despite challenges. You are proving to yourself that you are capable. These small moments add up, shaping your mindset and strengthening your confidence. Doubt will always try to creep in, especially when you are alone. You may find yourself asking, what if I fail? But instead of letting that question stop you, ask yourself a different question. What if I succeed? What if everything you are working for becomes a reality? What if the struggles you face today are shaping you into someone unstoppable? Changing the way you talk to yourself is one of the most powerful things you can do. The mind believes what you feed it. If you feed it doubt, it will find reasons to hesitate. But if you feed it belief, it will find ways to push forward. Many of the most successful people in the world started their journeys alone. They had ideas that no one else believed in. They faced rejection, setbacks, and moments of complete isolation. But they did not give up because they knew that success does not depend on the approval of others. It depends on the determination of the person chasing it. If you study their stories, you will realize that their belief in themselves came before the world believed in them. That is the key. You must act as though your success is inevitable, even when there is no evidence of it yet. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells you to be realistic, to play it safe, to wait for the right time. But the right time will never come if you're waiting for fear to disappear. You must move forward despite the fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep going anyway. Every step you take will build more confidence, and with confidence comes momentum. People often look for motivation from external sources, but the strongest motivation comes from within. When you believe in yourself, you do not need constant reminders from the outside world. You do not need someone cheering you on every step of the way. Your own belief is the fuel that keeps you moving. It is what pushes you to wake up early, to work harder, to keep going even when no one is watching. There will be days when progress feels slow. There will be moments when you question whether the effort is worth it. But you must remind yourself that every great achievement starts with an internal decision. To believe, to persist, to keep going even when the path is unclear. You do not need anyone to give you permission to pursue your dreams. You do not need anyone to tell you that you are capable. You already are. And the moment you fully believe that, nothing will be able to stop you. Being alone can feel like a disadvantage, but it is often a hidden gift. When no one is around to distract you, when the noise of the world fades, you are left with something powerful, your own mind. The way you use that solitude determines whether it becomes a source of strength or a source of struggle. Instead of seeing loneliness as a weakness, you can transform it into your greatest advantage by using it to focus. Distractions are everywhere: social media, other people's opinions, endless conversations that lead nowhere. These things consume energy and time. When you are alone, you have a rare opportunity to remove these distractions and channel your energy toward what truly matters. It is in solitude that the most brilliant ideas are born. It is in silence that the mind sharpens and the heart rediscovers its purpose. The time you spend alone is a time to build, to create, to grow. The world constantly demands attention. Notifications, messages, and expectations pull people in different directions. But when you are alone, you have the power to take control of your time. Instead of waiting for motivation to come from outside, you create your own discipline. You set your own schedule, your own goals, your own priorities. The ability to work in silence without seeking validation is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Loneliness can be uncomfortable, and many try to escape it. They fill the silence with noise, afraid of facing their own thoughts. But those who embrace solitude understand that it is a tool. It is a space for self-reflection, for deep thinking, for focusing on what truly matters. When you are alone, you are free from the influence of others. You are not comparing your progress to anyone else's. You are not seeking approval or adjusting your path to fit someone else's expectations. You are building something purely from your own vision. Most people fear being alone because they associate it with weakness. But true strength is found in those who can stand alone and remain unwavering. It takes courage to work toward a goal without an audience. It takes resilience to keep going when no one is watching. The ability to focus without external validation is what turns ideas into reality. It is easy to work hard when people are cheering you on. But the real test of commitment is whether you keep working when there is no applause. Solitude offers clarity. When you are constantly surrounded by noise, it is difficult to hear your own thoughts. But in the quiet moments, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself. You recognize which distractions have been holding you back. This self-awareness allows you to make better decisions, to move forward with purpose instead of being pulled in different directions by other people's expectations. The most successful people in history have understood the value of focus. They did not waste their energy seeking approval or explaining their dreams to those who could not see their vision. They worked in silence, improving their craft, refining their ideas, and building something meaningful. They did not fear being alone because they knew that true progress is made in the moments when no one else is watching. It is easy to feel discouraged when you are walking alone. Thoughts creep in, and without external validation, it can feel like progress is invisible. But the work done in solitude is never wasted. Every small effort adds up. Every focused hour brings you closer to your goal. The ability to concentrate, to stay disciplined, to work consistently without seeking attention, this is what leads to real success. Loneliness is not an obstacle, it is an opportunity. It is a space where you can create without distractions, where you can think deeply, where you can refine your skills. The ability to focus in solitude is a superpower, and those who learn to use it will always be ahead. The world may not notice your efforts now, but the results will speak for themselves. Achieving anything meaningful in life is not about making massive leaps overnight. It is about taking small, consistent steps every single day. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a short period and underestimate what they can accomplish with steady, deliberate action over time. The key to success is not found in sudden bursts of effort, but in the quiet, daily commitment to moving forward even when progress seems invisible. When starting something new, the goal can feel overwhelming. Looking at the big picture, it is easy to feel paralyzed by the distance between where you are and where you want to be. But the way to bridge that gap is not by waiting for the perfect moment or trying to do everything at once. It is by breaking the goal down into smaller, manageable steps and focusing on just one at a time. The smallest actions, repeated consistently, create the biggest transformation. Many people never start because they believe they need to have everything figured out first. They wait until they feel ready, until they have the perfect plan, until circumstances align. But readiness is a myth. No one ever truly feels ready. The only way to gain confidence is by starting before you feel prepared and learning as you go. Small steps allow you to do this without feeling overwhelmed. You do not have to take a giant leap, you just have to take the first step, and then another, and then another. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. It is better to make slow, steady progress every day than to work in extreme bursts, followed by long periods of inaction. A person who takes one small step every day will always accomplish more than someone who works intensely for a short time and then burns out. Progress compounds over time. What seems insignificant today will add up. And before you know it, those small efforts will have built something extraordinary. Challenges will come and motivation will fade. No one feels inspired every day. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not motivation, but discipline. The ability to keep going even on the days when you don't feel like it is what sets achievers apart. The mind will always look for reasons to delay, to procrastinate, to wait for a better time. But success belongs to those who learn to act despite their feelings. Most people give up too soon because they expect instant results. When they don't see progress right away, they assume their efforts are wasted. But real change happens below the surface, long before it becomes visible. A seed does not sprout the moment it is planted. It takes time, patience, and nurturing before it grows. The same is true for any goal. The early stages may feel slow and discouraging, but every step matters, even when it doesn't seem like it. The process is just as important as the outcome. When people focus only on results, they become impatient. But when they focus on showing up every day, on improving just a little bit, on making progress no matter how small, they begin to enjoy the journey. And when the journey itself becomes rewarding, staying consistent is no longer a struggle. The mind often resists change because it craves comfort and familiarity, but growth requires discomfort. Taking small, consistent steps allows you to push past resistance without overwhelming yourself instead of trying to force massive change overnight. Commit to tiny improvements. When something feels too difficult, break it down into even smaller steps. Progress is still progress, no matter how slow it seems. Discipline is a skill that is built over time. It is not something people are born with, it is something they develop through repetition. The more you show up for yourself, the more natural it becomes. Over time, what once felt difficult will become effortless. What once required discipline will turn into a habit. The first few steps are always the hardest, but once momentum builds, consistency becomes second nature. People often wait for motivation to begin, but the truth is action creates motivation. When you take small steps consistently, you start to see progress, and progress fuels motivation. The cycle continues, and before you realize it, you are further along than you ever imagined. The key is to start where you are, with what you have, and trust that every small effort is moving you forward. Struggles are often seen as obstacles, but they are actually opportunities in disguise. Every challenge, every setback, and every hardship carries a lesson that shapes you into a stronger version of yourself. It is easy to feel defeated when things do not go as planned. But those who achieve greatness understand that struggles are not meant to break them, they are meant to build them. The way you perceive and respond to difficulties determines whether they become stepping stones or barriers. Pain is a powerful teacher. It reveals strengths that you did not know you had and forces you to grow in ways you never expected. When faced with adversity, there are two choices: let it consume you or use it to rise. Most people view struggles as signs that they should stop, but those who succeed understand that challenges are simply tests of resilience. The ability to endure, adapt, and push forward despite the pain is what separates those who give up from those who thrive. Struggles introduce you to your true self. When everything is going smoothly, it is easy to feel confident and in control. But when difficulties arise, that is when your character is truly tested. Challenges strip away the distractions and reveal who you really are. They force you to confront your fears, insecurities, and doubts. But within that struggle is the opportunity to rebuild yourself into someone stronger, wiser, and more capable. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens when you are pushed beyond your limits, when you are faced with situations that demand more from you. The most transformative moments in life often come from the hardest experiences. Pain forces you to question, to adapt, and to evolve. It teaches you resilience, patience, and perseverance. Without struggle, there is no growth, and without growth, there is no true success. Many people avoid challenges because they fear failure. They see setbacks as proof that they are not good enough or that they are on the wrong path. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every mistake, every rejection, and every disappointment carries a lesson. Those who embrace failure as a teacher instead of fearing it as an enemy are the ones who ultimately succeed. Struggles build mental and emotional strength. Just as muscles grow stronger through resistance, the mind and spirit grow stronger through hardship. Every challenge you overcome adds to your resilience, making future difficulties easier to handle. People who avoid struggles remain stagnant, while those who embrace them develop unshakable inner strength. The ability to keep going despite difficulties is one of the most valuable skills a person can have. Difficult moments often bring clarity. When everything is going well, it is easy to become comfortable and lose sight of your purpose. But struggles force you to reassess, to question what truly matters, and to focus on what is important. They remove distractions and highlight what is essential. Many people discover their true passion, purpose, or strength only after facing significant challenges. Perspective is everything. The way you interpret your struggles determines how they affect you. Some people see obstacles as reasons to quit, while others see them as opportunities to grow. Those who choose to see difficulties as lessons rather than punishments develop a mindset that allows them to navigate life. A strong mind does not avoid struggles. It embraces them as necessary parts of the journey. Endurance is built through hardship. The more you push through challenges, the more you prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming anything. Each struggle becomes a reminder of your resilience. Looking back, you will realize that the moments that once felt unbearable were the very moments that shaped you into someone stronger. There is power in struggle because it forces transformation. It pushes limits, builds character, and strengthens resolve. Those who succeed are not those who never struggled, but those who refused to be defeated by their struggles. Hardships may test you, but they also prepare you for the success that lies ahead. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. It is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. Many people rely on motivation to move forward, but motivation is temporary. It comes and goes like the wind. Discipline, however, is what keeps you going even when you do not feel like it. It is the ability to push through discomfort, to stay committed to your goals, and to do what needs to be done regardless of how you feel in the moment. There will be days when you wake up without energy. There will be moments when doubts creep in, when distractions seem more appealing than the work ahead. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline is doing what you said you would do, even when the excitement fades. It is showing up for yourself not because you feel like it, but because you made a commitment to your own growth. Those who succeed are not necessarily the most talented or the most fortunate. They are the ones who are consistent. The mind naturally seeks comfort. It tries to avoid difficulty and pain. But progress requires discomfort. Growth happens when you push past resistance, when you show up on the hard days, when you keep going despite the challenges. Many people give up when things get difficult, but those who develop discipline understand that discomfort is a part of the process. The ability to endure, to persist, and to keep moving forward even when it feels impossible is what leads to real achievement. Discipline is built in small moments. It is not something you wake up with one day. It is something you cultivate through daily choices. Waking up early instead of sleeping in. Choosing to work when distractions are tempting. Saying no to short-term comfort in favor of long-term success. Each small act of discipline strengthens the habit, making it easier to stay committed. Over time, what once felt difficult becomes second nature. People often believe that successful individuals have more willpower, but in reality, they have simply mastered the art of discipline. They do not wait for motivation. They create routines that make discipline automatic. They remove unnecessary distractions, set clear priorities, and commit to their goals with unwavering focus. When discipline becomes a habit, success is no longer a question of if, but when. Temptation will always be present. There will always be reasons to delay, to quit, to choose comfort over effort. But discipline is about making decisions based on your goals, not your feelings. Feelings are unreliable. They fluctuate, they change, and they often lead you away from what truly matters. Discipline, however, keeps you anchored. It keeps you moving forward regardless of external circumstances. Many people admire the results of discipline but struggle with the process. They see the achievements, the success, the rewards, but they do not see the countless unseen moments of effort and sacrifice. The reality is, discipline is not glamorous. It is repetitive. It is waking up early, practicing daily, and doing the work when no one is watching. It is making the tough choices, the small sacrifices, and the conscious decisions that add up over time. The beauty of discipline is that it gives you control over your own life. When you master discipline, you are no longer controlled by distractions, procrastination, or fleeting emotions. You take charge of your future, knowing that your actions, not luck, not circumstances, determine your success. Discipline creates freedom. The more disciplined you become, the more opportunities open up. It is easy to blame circumstances, to say that you lack resources, time, or talent. But discipline does not rely on external factors. It is an internal choice. It is about using what you have, doing what you can, and refusing to make excuses. The difference between those who achieve their goals and those who do not is not intelligence or luck, it is discipline. It is the decision to show up, to work hard, and to keep going no matter what. Believing in yourself is the foundation of every great achievement. It is not enough to have goals or dreams if deep down you do not believe you are capable of reaching them. The way you see yourself shapes your actions, your decisions, and ultimately your future. If you do not believe in yourself, no amount of talent, intelligence, or opportunity will be enough. But when you develop unshakable self-belief, there is nothing you cannot overcome. Self-belief is not about arrogance or thinking you are better than others. It is about recognizing your worth, understanding your potential, and trusting that you have the ability to grow, learn, and succeed. Many people fail before they even begin, not because they lack the ability, but because they have convinced themselves that they are not good enough. The mind is powerful. If you constantly feed it doubts, fears, and negative thoughts, those will become your reality. But if you train it to believe in your own strength, you will find a way to succeed no matter the obstacles. Doubt is one of the biggest enemies of success. It whispers that you are not ready, that you are not smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough. It makes you hesitate, second-guess yourself, and play small. But doubt is just a thought, it is not the truth. Every person who has ever achieved something great has had moments of doubt, but they chose to believe in themselves anyway. They took action even when they were uncertain. They moved forward despite their fears. Believing in yourself does not mean you will never fail. In fact, failure is inevitable. There will be setbacks, mistakes, and moments when things do not go as planned. But self-belief allows you to see failure not as a reason to quit, but as a lesson.